In this last installment of how to build an infographic, I want to go over how you can use the drawing functions of shapes to add to your design or layout. And you can also try using clip art to do this as well. So what I'm going to do here, because we've just been kind of building, is add a blank slide for now. Your final infographic will be one sheet, but I just want to simply go over how you can add shapes. You can find shapes and drawing functions by going into the insert function on a Mac. Here I have my various shapes. Now seeing all the shapes, you see how there are boxes, circles, triangles, typical shapes. You also can find arrows, these large arrows here for instance, and you can also even use callouts, which are these things here that are kind of like clouds where you can insert text automatically. For this infographic quick tutorial, I want to just use an arrow. I'm going to use the up arrow and I want to insert it. With PCs, you can usually simply insert them by clicking on them. And so I have my arrow. In this arrow, you see these yellow diamonds here. These are options that you can use for moving parts of the arrows up and down, so you can resize them, and then this one makes it thinner or fatter as you might need. The circle is something that allows you to tilt your object. So let's say you want to angle this and say something about how the average income in a given neighborhood has been rising. I want to make it a little pointier and a little skinnier, let's say. Okay. And what I would do here, for instance, is because this doesn't have an automatic function to add the text, I want to insert a text box. And I'm going to insert it here and write household income 28% increase. Now, again, let's say that was a real fact. It's not, I just made that up. You would, in the additional page for footnotes and so forth, you can add that separately, what the source of that data point is. Here, this is all justified to the left, and I want to center it, so I would, just like any other text, use the centering function. Let's say I want to change the color of the font. I could change it to orange. I want this arrow to be a dark blue, so what I want to do is select the arrow, and using the fill function, you can either use the fill function that you can see up here in formatting, or you can also right click and do format object. So here we have format shape. I want to do the fill into a dark blue, so I'm going to select that color blue. It's almost too dark, looks a bit black. Let's choose this blue and say okay, and that way the orange stands out of the blue. You want to be very careful about the color theme you want to use and the color of the text you want to use over it. For infographics, you really want to be uniform in the kinds of colors that you are using. You don't want to have too much of a hodgepodge of colors. Now inserting clip art, let's say I want to have something that's like the silhouette of a house. I can try to find it in clip art, and if it's not working for me, the other option I have is that I can look for clip art online. So right now I want to go online and look for some clip art. If I go to just Google and type in Microsoft and clip art, what I get is this new set of how you can find clip art in Microsoft Office applications. And it's a little confusing, and I myself don't exactly get how to use it. But basically, what it tells you is that you want to simply go to office.com, and here you just want to type whatever you're looking for. Like, so I want to type house because I'm looking for house clip art. What I get in terms of house are some image results, and I want to see more. So I click on more so that I can get more of what I'm looking for. And I don't want actual photographs. What I want are illustrations because I want to be able to make the color be appropriate for um, my infographic. And my infographic is going to be monotone, as I said before. We want simple colors and a streamlined design. I scan some of the house function images that they show, and I may or may not like too much of what I see. So what I'm going to go with is select this one here. I'm going to download it, and it's going to go into my downloads folder automatically. So now I'm going to switch over back to PowerPoint. Here in PowerPoint, what I'm going to do is find my image. So I'm going to insert, and I have picture from file. So the file started with an MC. This is the file. I'm going to then insert, and here is my image. I want to format the color of the image so that it matches the theme of maybe going with orange and blue. Under the tab for Format Picture, you'll see different options here. Before, remember, we used cropping for the maps. You could add borders to certain images. For this, it wouldn't really make sense to add a box around the house. You can add effects of glows and 3D effects as well. Again, the little green circle allows you to tilt the house however you might want if it's necessary. I don't really need to. But I do want to change the color. And under recolor, there are some color options so that it gives you the ability to color your image in whatever color family or shade you might be interested. I want to work with blues, so what I'm going to do is right now select the blue to go with this and click OK. And it came out rather dark. I can fidget with the options as necessary, but I might want to move the house, and so let's say I want to group this arrow with the text. What I would do is hold the shift key down as I click the second object, and then I can right click and do grouping, group. This means that I can move my house and arrow as one. This means that I can move my house and arrow as one. There we are. So let's say I want to add another type of shape. I would then go to insert, again shape, and select from here what I may want to use. Perhaps what I want to do is include a dollar symbol. So I type in a dollar symbol here, and I want to highlight the font in a certain way, make it bold, make it big, and then I want to overlay something else in front of it. So basically, with the different Microsoft Office functions, you really have the capacity to change and move things as you need to, format however you might want something to look, and then come up with a specific image or set of images that you're trying to use to convey a story. So this is a very general way to use some of the simple drawing and picture functions in the Microsoft Office suite, particularly. In addition to what you can add to a PowerPoint slide, I also wanted to guide you to understand that you can also change the size of the PowerPoint slide itself. So going to page setup, in the Mac you can find it under just File. Under a PC, I think you might be able to find it perhaps under the View tab or some other settings tab. However, what you can do is go to page setup basically, and you want to resize this for let's say you want it to be a long, a very wide PowerPoint, you can set that to 14 and then increase this to, let's say, 11. You can type this and not have to hit the little arrows. So you can do that, and whatever it tells you, you can say, okay, whatever. You don't really need to follow those rules. Another thing you can do with the page setup is that you can change the orientation. So let's say you want this to be going to be more tall than wide. You can also do that change as well. So let's say we want it to be like this, and you see now that your PowerPoint slide changed drastically. You would then do your resizing as you need to for the images, the shapes, the text, move things around for your liking or needs, um, and set up your infographic that way. So I hope you're able to kind of get a sense of how to use PowerPoint to your advantage in building an infographic. And again, you're not expected to be a total graphic designer, but what I want you to do is think about how you, as a person who's becoming more expert in using data, would like to see that data presented to a new audience who may not be as well informed as you, but who you want to understand the data the way that you have come to understand it. That's it for now. Thank you.